Welcome back to my channel. Today, we uncover the footage that TLC never meant for the world to see. A moment that began as just another quiet morning inside Robyn Brown's pristine Flagstaff home, but ended up shattering the illusion of SisterWives forever. It was supposed to be a calm, uneventful filming day. Just background footage, B-roll for a future recap. Robyn, the ever-composed fourth wife, lounged on her leather sectional, herbal tea in hand, performing her favorite role, the gentle, misunderstood wife. But what happened next would ignite the most explosive scandal in the history of the Brown family. Unbeknownst to her, Robyn's microphone was still live. And as she called her sister Kendra, the cameras quietly recorded every word, words that would burn down years of careful reputation building. Her voice, usually soft, trembling with faux sincerity, shifted. It hardened, sharpened. She stirred her tea and said coldly, "Cody's still pretending he's drowning in money issues. Please, he signed off on the reorganization." Then came the dagger. "And Janelle still believes she has a legal claim to Coyote Pass. It's just pitiful." The producer behind the camera froze. Had she just admitted that she and Cody manipulated the family's finances, cutting Mary and Janelle out entirely? But Robyn wasn't done. Her tone turned venomous, sugar-coated with fake concern. "I wish they'd all just go away," she whispered. "Bless their hearts. But they can't even take care of their kids, their marriages, or their finances." And then she laughed. A low, biting laugh. Not the innocent, tearful Robyn fans knew. This was the real Robyn, the one behind the curtain. Back at TLC headquarters, chaos erupted. Executives argued for hours. Should they air the clip and risk exposing their star, or bury it to protect their cash cow? Before they could decide, someone leaked it. A frustrated editor emailed the footage to a small scandal blog. Within hours, the internet exploded. A Robyn exposed and sister wife scandal trended across Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter. The backlash was immediate. When Janelle saw the clip, shown to her by her son Logan, she didn't speak. She just set her phone down and stared into nothingness. The betrayal ran too deep for words. Mary found out in Utah during a work retreat. At first, she laughed in disbelief, but the laughter turned to tears. Years of denial shattered in seconds. That night, she posted a single quote to Instagram: "A wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf, even if she weeps." The internet caught fire. And this time, it wasn't just gossip, it was proof. The woman who built her fame on tears had finally been unmasked. Cody, meanwhile, was spiraling, not because of Robyn's betrayal, but because the world finally saw him, saw the weakness, the deception, the lies. When producers showed him the leaked clip, he stammered, "You're twisting her words." But his eyes told the truth. He was terrified. The mansion grew silent. He stopped sleeping beside her. Even the walls seemed to hold their breath. And the pain didn't stop with them. Dayton and Aurora were crushed. Aurora confronted her mother in tears. "Why would you say those things? When you say you love the family, do you mean it?" Then another bombshell dropped. A second leaked confession, filmed months earlier. In it, Robyn said, "I just wish Christine would stop tearing it all down. Mary, I wish you'd let go. And Janelle, I hope she realizes she doesn't belong." Each line sounded innocent, but fans recognized the venom behind every word. This wasn't empathy. It was control. And the world saw it clearly now. TLC could no longer stay silent. They issued a statement. In the spirit of honesty, previously unseen footage will be released in upcoming episodes. Translation? No more editing. No more protecting the narrative. Robyn's mask had finally slipped, and TLC was done covering for her. Then came the biggest shock of all. A new spinoff. Unscripted. The truth behind SisterWives. A raw, unfiltered, 3-part special exposing everything. Robyn refused to appear. Cody hesitated. But Mary, Janelle, and even Christine stepped forward. Mary looked at producers and said coldly, "You want the truth? We lived it. And we're ready to share every messy, painful, heartbreaking piece of it." Christine walked onto set in a blazing red blouse, her eyes steady and fearless. This wasn't the Christine of old. This was a woman reborn from betrayal. And as the cameras rolled in that stark, stripped-down studio, it was clear. This wasn't just another SisterWives season. It was the reckoning. What happened next? No one was prepared for. Because when Christine Brown walked onto that set, it wasn't the same woman viewers remembered. This wasn't the heartbroken wife from years past. This was a woman reborn, one who had finally found her voice. and was ready to use it. The air changed the moment she entered. Even the lighting seemed to shift, like truth itself had walked into the room. The moderator, seated between the couches, gave a cautious nod. "Thanks for coming, Christine. I know this wasn't part of your original schedule." Christine smiled faintly. "No," she replied. "It wasn't, but then I saw that video of Robyn." The room froze. The camera crew, usually stoic and silent, instinctively leaned forward. Everyone could feel it. Something heavy was about to break. Christine took a slow breath. The one where she called Janelle pathetic and said Cody was pretending to be heartbroken. Her voice didn't tremble, but her hands did. "That was it for me," she continued. "That was when I knew I couldn't stay silent anymore." Her tone carried both grief and grit, the sound of a woman finally reclaiming her truth. "For years," she said softly, "I was told I was the problem. Too sensitive. Too independent. Too difficult." Her eyes lifted, steady now. "But I wasn't the one faking tears while lying to the family." She turned toward Mary and Janelle, her sisters in survival. "We all bent ourselves into shapes trying to make it work," she said, voice breaking. "But justice died the day Cody walked into Robyn's house and never came back." Mary brushed away a tear. Janelle gave the faintest nod, her jaw clenched, her eyes glimmering with silent fury. Then Christine's voice hardened. "Robyn used her tears as a weapon," she said coldly, "and we let her. We made excuses for it. But that video, sitting there, sipping tea while mocking Janelle's pain, that's who she really is." The silence that followed was thunderous. No edits, no TLC polish, just raw truth. The moderator hesitated before asking the one question everyone wanted answered. "If Robyn were sitting here right now, what would you say to her?" Christine didn't blink. She turned toward the camera, her gaze unwavering, her voice like steel. "Robyn," she said, "you lied. You lied to yourself. You lied to our kids. You lied to us." She leaned forward. "You held the sledgehammer," and then cried about the broken pieces. Gasps filled the studio. Mary inhaled sharply. Janelle reached across, gripping Christine's hand. No words, just shared pain. 3 women bound not by marriage anymore, but by survival. After a long pause, Janelle finally spoke, quiet, controlled, devastating. "She never wanted SisterWives," she said. "She only wanted Cody. And somehow, she got him, at the cost of all of us." Then came the voices that had been silenced the longest. The Brown children. TLC called it the unscripted truth, but for them it was simply their chance to be heard. Janelle's son Gabriel sat before the camera, eyes hollow but steady. "Mom always tried to be kind," he said softly. "But Robyn had this way of twisting Dad. We watched it happen. It wasn't even subtle." Next came Aspen, Christine's eldest daughter. "Robyn would always say, 'I just want peace,'" she said bitterly. But behind the scenes, she was stirring everything. We called it her passive-aggressive prayers. And then Savannah, Janelle's youngest, broke down in tears. "All we ever wanted was to be treated the same," she sobbed. But Robyn made sure only her kids got that version of Dad. The rest of us were leftovers. For a moment, the studio was dead silent. You could hear nothing but the sound of quiet weeping and the faint hum of the cameras. Then, about an hour after the children's interviews wrapped, the studio door creaked open. A shadow stepped inside him and the temperature seemed to drop. Cody Brown had arrived. He looked wrecked. Eyes bloodshot, shirt wrinkled, curls pulled back in a messy tie. The confident patriarch was gone, replaced by a man who looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. He didn't speak as he sat across from the 3 women. Mary, Janelle, Christine. They didn't move either. Just silence, thick, electric, suffocating. 3 women on one side, the man who broke them on the other. And as the cameras began to roll, everyone in that studio knew this wasn't a reunion. It was Judgment Day. The moderator's voice cracked the silence like a small tremor before a storm. "Cody," he began carefully, "you've seen the footage. You've heard what Robyn said. What do you think?" For a moment, it looked like Cody didn't even breathe. His eyes stayed on the floor, tracing invisible patterns of guilt in the studio light. The seconds stretched, heavy, suffocating. Then finally he exhaled. "I didn't want to believe it," he said, voice low, barely audible. "Even when I saw the video, I rationalized. I told myself there had to be more to it." He lifted his head slowly. The look in his eyes wasn't anger. It was realization. But the truth is, he said quietly, she was lying. Not just to Janelle, but about nearly everything. The words landed like thunder. Janelle's eyes widened. Mary's lips parted, searching for air. The silence turned sharp. She told me she was being attacked, Cody continued, voice breaking mid-sentence. That everyone envied her. That I needed to protect her. He shook his head in disbelief. And I did, without even realizing I was protecting a lie. Christine's voice cut through like a blade, calm, precise. And now? She asked softly. Cody's breath hitched. Now, he said, his throat tightening. Now I don't even know the woman I married. The camera lights dimmed soon after. Crew members whispered, cables were coiled, and the set slowly emptied. But Mary, Janelle, and Christine didn't move. They stayed behind in the quiet glow of fading lights. No producers, no direction, no performance. Just truth. Mary spoke first, her voice low but steady. We let her control the story for too long. No more, Janelle replied sharply, her tone carrying finality. Christine nodded, tears glimmering in her eyes but her expression fierce. Let them drown in their lies, she said. Ours is out now. The world finally sees. The three women stood together and walked out into the Arizona sunlight. Cameras trailed behind, catching the moment, the wind brushing against them like freedom itself. For the first time in decades, they were not sister wives. They were survivors. Truth had burned the script, and they were walking straight into the firelight of their own liberation. But truth, like any wildfire, doesn't stop where it begins. 3 days later, social media exploded. The reunion special had gone viral, sparking millions of views and igniting comment sections across the internet. And in the middle of it all, Robyn Brown returned. Not through TLC, not through any controlled press release or polished PR statement. She appeared alone, barefaced, sitting on the edge of her bed, her eyes red and swollen. A live stream flickered to life. Instagram. The world was watching. I don't even know where to start, she stammered, tears catching in her throat. It feels like everyone's attacking me. Women I loved, the ex-wives of my husband, now the entire world. She sniffled. That video, everyone keeps sharing it, but it was edited. It was a private moment. TLC twisted it. They made me look like the villain. Her hand pressed to her chest, trembling, her voice shaking between victimhood and fury. All I ever wanted was peace in this family. I gave everything I had. I loved Mary, I loved Janelle. But then her voice hardened, anger overtaking grief. Christine never showed me warmth, she said bitterly. I tried with her. They closed me out. They were cruel to my kids. They made me feel unwanted. The tears were gone now, replaced with a cold, defensive glare. This story they're selling, it's not truth. It's punishment. They're using social media, using TLC, even the audience, to destroy me. She paused, inhaling sharply. I never wanted to be the favorite. That's something they made up because they couldn't handle that Cody loved me. But this time, the world didn't believe her. Within 12 hours, her live stream crossed 2 million views, but sympathy was nowhere to be found. Clips of her blaming, editing, and deflecting responsibility flooded YouTube and TikTok. Every blink, every sob, every flicker of her expression was dissected. And then the breaking point. A new TikTok account appeared, a truth from inside. Its first post was grainy, dark. No face, only a voice. Robyn's voice. I'll cry on TV again if TLC tries to turn this against me, the recording said. People eat that up. They'll never turn on me. The internet froze. It was Brianna, Robyn's teenage daughter. But that wasn't the end. Aurora posted next. Her face pale, eyes red from crying. She whispered into the camera, I don't know how long I can keep pretending. A pause, then, pretending that I love my mom? The silence that followed online was deafening. She talks behind everyone's backs, Aurora confessed. Christine, Mary, sometimes even about Dad. But when the cameras turn on, she changes. I don't even know who she is anymore. And just like that, the carefully built illusion shattered. By morning, Robyn's Instagram was gone. Her old posts locked. Comments disabled. The infamous live stream deleted. And quietly, almost symbolically, TLC removed her title, Family Peacemaker, from the cast bio on their official website. A leaked internal message from a producer summed it up best. We gave her every chance. But when your own kids start coming forward, that's not editing. That's truth catching up. And then came the final gut punch. In an uncut clip that accidentally aired, Cody was overheard off camera, unaware his mic was still live. "She lied to me too," he whispered. "I don't know how to come back from this. Maybe I don't even want to." For the first time, Cody looked small, defeated. Not the patriarch, but a man swallowed by his own silence. When filming resumed, Robyn was gone. The remaining 3 women gathered once more, this time at Christine's house in Utah. There were no scripts. No producers pulling strings. Just laughter, tears, and a toast that would echo far beyond the show. Christine raised her glass, her voice calm and strong. "To truth," she said. And this time, no one interrupted. She said. And this time, no one interrupted. Christine looked around the table, her eyes soft but unflinching. "To peace," she said, her voice steady, the kind that comes only after surviving the storm. Mary smiled, a small but genuine curve that seemed to wash away decades of silence. "We wasted too many years," she whispered, waiting for Cody's permission to live. Janelle raised her glass next, her expression fierce and resolute. "No more," she said simply. And as Christine lifted hers higher, sunlight streaming through the window caught the glass, scattering light across their faces. "To peace," she repeated. "At last real, at last ours." For the first time, it wasn't about Cody, or a marriage, or a show. It was about 3 women finally standing in their own names. But peace, it turned out, wasn't quiet for long. Only weeks after Robyn's disastrous livestream and the bombshell videos released by her daughters, TLC dropped a press release at 6:00 a.m. on a Monday morning. No drama, no fanfare, just quiet finality. TLC is proud to announce a new chapter in the journey of the Brown family. Sister Strong, Life After Polygamy, featuring Mary Brown, Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and their adult children. That was it. No Cody, no Robyn, no excuses. The message was crystal clear. This wasn't SisterWives anymore. That story had ended. This was a rebirth, a reclamation, a declaration. Sister Strong wasn't just a show title, it was a statement. The era of broken covenants and hollow promises was over. This was about healing, about women rebuilding what had been stolen from them. Each episode would tell a different story, 3 lives finally free to shine in full light. Janelle's journey would no longer be framed through Cody's neglect, but through her strength. She'd become the architect of her own empire, mentoring women, teaching financial independence, and building something lasting alongside her sons. Together, they'd resurrect the legacy nearly destroyed by manipulation and deceit. Mary's arc would be tender and raw, the rediscovery of self-worth after decades of gaslighting, emotional exile, and silent endurance. Viewers would see her confront the ghosts of her past, pen her memoir, and maybe, just maybe, open her heart again. A Utah novelist, a therapist, a new beginning. Christine's chapter would be luminous, a celebration of freedom, of love found on her own terms. Now thriving with David Woolley, she had become a voice for women trapped in spiritual control, leading retreats, sharing wisdom, and proving that survival can transform into joy. And then, the most anticipated part, the unfiltered voices of the adult children. For the first time, they would speak without fear, about what it meant to grow up in that home, about the silence, the favoritism, and the healing that followed truth. But as the women stepped into new light, Robyn Brown was being pulled back into shadow. Only weeks after her public collapse, a new headline shook the tabloids. Robyn Brown sues TLC for $5 million. The lawsuit accused the network of defamation, breach of contract, emotional distress, and character exploitation. Her lawyers claimed she was portrayed as sinister when, as she put it, she was just overwhelmed. She alleged the clips were edited out of context, broadcast without permission. And though Cody had disappeared from public view, his name appeared right beside hers on the court filing. Together, they claimed TLC had destroyed their reputation and their marriage. But TLC was ready. Within 48 hours, their legal team fired back with receipts, signed contracts, email chains, proof that Robyn had personally approved the use of behind-the-scenes footage. And then, the emails that changed everything. Messages from Robyn herself asking the producers to make the other wives look jealous and cold. Requests for reshoots to amplify her emotional impact. And a chilling directive from the season 17 files. Do not film me with Cody's kids unless the scene makes me look nurturing. The courtroom fell into stunned silence. Robyn sat there, pale, trembling, her gray cardigan hanging loose around her shoulders. No makeup, no filters, no sympathetic lighting. Just truth. When the judge asked about her daughter's videos, the ones contradicting her entire defense, she broke. They don't understand, she sobbed. Christine's influencing them. But the judge didn't flinch. Ma'am, he said flatly, your children are adults. They acted on their own. TLC isn't your problem. The truth is, silence. Cody sat behind her, head buried in his hands. The fall had begun. TLC moved swiftly after the verdict. They released a 2-hour Sister Strong Live premiere event, a cathartic nationwide moment. Millions tuned in. The chat box flooded with tears, hearts, and disbelief. A viewer asked, "Do you think Robyn feels remorse for what happened?" Christine didn't blink. "I think Robyn regrets getting caught," she said. Mary leaned forward, voice quiet but firm. "You can't lie forever. Truth has teeth." And Janelle, calm, deliberate, added, "She didn't just lie to us. She lied to Cody, she lied to our kids. And she lied to America." 3 voices unified. 3 truths finally spoken aloud. 3 weeks after losing in court, Robyn was spotted in Flagstaff. No cameras, no glam team, no smile. Just a hoodie, dark sunglasses, and a woman hollowed by consequence. A paparazzo asked softly, "Will you appeal?" Robyn paused, her voice barely audible. "There's nothing left to fight for," she said. "Everything's gone." The clip went viral overnight. Fans called it the fall of Queen Robyn. Even her defenders turned away, filling Reddit threads titled "Robyn's House of Cards has collapsed, and we owe Christine an apology." And then the final act. Weeks later, Cody Brown appeared for what would become his last TLC interview. His once golden curls hung limp. His voice, once thunderous, now carried only exhaustion. "I was deceived," he said quietly, "but I let it happen. I pushed away the people who sacrificed everything for me, for a love that wasn't even real." He looked down, rubbing his face. "My family's gone. They lost faith in me, and somewhere, I lost myself. No bravado, no anger, just sorrow." And as Cody faded from the frame, Sister Strong surged forward, breaking TLC streaming records within days. Janelle used her platform to launch a nonprofit for women escaping spiritual and financial abuse. Mary began dating again, penning her long-awaited memoir about liberation and love after control. Christine and David Woolley hosted retreats for women learning to rebuild their joy. The final scene of the series premiere said it all. The 3 women, standing together on a Utah hilltop, wind in their hair, sunset blazing behind them. Christine raised her glass. "To truth," she said softly. And this time, the world stood with them. And this time, the world stood with them. The desert stretched endlessly behind them, golden hour bathing the landscape in warmth. Christine, Janelle, and Mary stood together, the wind teasing strands of hair across their faces. Smiles graced their lips, not carefree, but hard-earned. "Everything was lost," Christine said, her voice quiet but certain. "But we're free now," Janelle added, lifting her chin toward the horizon. Mary's eyes glistened as she finished the thought, voice steady. "And at last, we're whole. Kind of whole in a way nobody asked for." Meanwhile, the world moved on from Robyn Brown. No shows. No interviews. No social media. 2 months of silence passed before her name resurfaced. Not in tabloids, but in the publishing world. A business leak confirmed the release of her memoir, The Sacred Heart, My Truth as a Sister Wife. Slated for fall, it promised to reveal the depths of her spiritual journey, betrayal, motherhood, and persecution, her side of the story. The sequel to the cover story emerged in a full-page advertisement, Robyn holding a dog-eared Book of Mormon, tears glistening in dramatic light. The caption read, "I gave everything. They blamed me." But the public wasn't listening anymore. Social media erupted. Critics and fans ridiculed her attempt at a victim narrative. "My guess is each chapter has a good cry," one comment sneered. Within hours, Sacred Lie trended across platforms, a digital verdict on her credibility. Advance copies circulated and controversy exploded. Robyn blamed everyone but herself. TLC's editing, Christine's alleged spiritual sabotage, Mary's supposed emotional abuse, and Janelle's presence in the family as mere opportunism. Most shocking, she implied that her daughters, Aurora and Brianna, had been manipulated against her. Her sister Kendra broke the silence days later. Posting an emotional, unscripted 12-minute video titled Robyn Brown, My Sister, Her Deceptions and the Truth, she confronted the narrative head-on. "I adore my sister," Kendra began, voice wavering yet determined. "But I saw her lie. I saw her craft a story where she was always the hero and everyone else the villain. It wasn't real. Tears brimming, Kendra transformed her grief into power. She turned on her own children when people stopped believing her, she said. Her final words struck like lightning. If Robyn shares a story today where she's the victim, ask her who she blamed last year. Because it's never her. The internet exploded. The video hit 6 million views in just 3 days. Then Aurora and Brianna spoke. After weeks of silence watching the fallout, they stepped forward in a tearful Instagram live. Aurora's voice quivered, trembling with emotion yet resolute. My mom doesn't get to rewrite my story. I'm not disloyal. I just finally saw the truth. Brianna followed, voice soft but firm. We loved her. We tried to believe her, but she turned us against each other. We were just kids, used, not corrupted. Not blind anymore. The response shattered records. Over 3 million live viewers, millions more streaming afterward. TLC recognized the impact and approached the sisters. The result was a raw, one-night TV special. No sets, no filters, no dramatic music, just Aurora and Brianna on a simple couch, journals, letters, and unfiltered images spread before them. They spoke with the clarity of pain finally recognized. Aurora recalled a childhood warning. Don't believe what they say about me. Be loyal, don't ask questions. Brianna read a diary entry from their Flagstaff years. Mom says Christine was jealous and mean. But I never understood why she feared her. Christine always smiled at us. The audience didn't need music or theatrics. The raw honesty of two young women reclaiming their story was enough. Robyn, meanwhile, made one last public gesture. A single sentence posted to her Instagram story. Even if the world turns my kids against me, I will always love them. Short, bittersweet, empty. By the next day, her profile went dark, silence. Meanwhile, the women continued to grow stronger. At a retreat in South Utah, Christine, Janelle, and Mary hosted an event themed Taking Back Your Story. The air was warm, tranquil. When asked about Robyn's book and the daughter's TV special, Mary spoke softly. You only have so much time to keep lying before the truth comes out. Janelle added, I'm proud of Brianna and Aurora. It takes real strength to walk through manipulation and still stand tall. Christine wiped a tear and smiled. Those girls didn't just survive Robyn's world. They're building their own lives and will support them every step of the way. The camera lingered on Christine's bookshelf. Among family photos, a single copy of Robyn's book sat untouched. A sticky note read in Janelle's handwriting, Fiction. Christine chuckled softly. Mary's calm voice followed. Let's move on. The screen faded to black. Robyn's final attempt to reclaim her narrative came 6 months later with a new YouTube channel, Living in Love, Robyn Brown, My Journey to Truth. Soft branding, floral motifs, gentle piano music. The banner read, Time is of the essence, and I'm ready to share mine. The internet wasn't buying it. Comments poured in, healing or damage control. Her debut, They All Left Me, a 12-minute monologue, gained 900,000 views and 112,000 dislikes. 2 nights later, a critical mistake. Robyn accidentally posted 45 minutes of raw, unedited files, voicemails, screen recordings, private messages, meant to remain private. The video was removed within 38 minutes, but the damage was irreversible. Fans recorded everything. Clips and screenshots spread instantly. One voicemail to Cody was chilling. You promised to take care of me, but now you're just walking away. You let them destroy me. I gave you 10 years. You're a coward. Get this right or TLC will hear my side. All of it. Another message, aimed at TLC producers, was menacing and calculated. Strange how my raw footage ended up in the final cut. Don't forget, I've got receipts too. The worst, a private note whispered to herself, was heartbreaking. Everyone despises me, even my children. If nobody believes me, what do I do? Perhaps stage a breakdown? Pretend to forgive? Would TLC even notice? TLC responded swiftly. Any material Robyn posted independently was not endorsed or linked to the network. Then, a surprise episode, Sister Strong, Unmasked, Behind the Curtain of Robyn, featuring Christine, Janelle, and Mary reacting to the leaked audio. Christine appeared unsurprised. Janelle pale with shock. Mary calm but resolute. She always said she was the victim. But that was her costume, Mary observed. The final segment featured Cody alone, listening to the voicemails. Shaking head in hands, then blank heavy with shame. I believed she was real. God forgive me. I thought so. No dramatics. No speeches. Just a man realizing he'd placed his faith in the wrong truth. The Robyn era ended. Her YouTube channel vanished. Instagram deleted. The book stealthily removed from shelves. Months later, a fuzzy photo emerged. Robyn, quietly working in a small Utah shop under a new name. No lights, no cameras. No tears to salvage her legacy. TLC's audacious final move followed. An 18-second teaser, soft piano, 2 silhouettes against the Utah sky. Words appeared slowly. Coming soon. The internet buzzed. Aurora and Brianna Brown, finally speaking on their own terms. Hours later, TLC confirmed, breaking the pattern, a 6-episode limited series featuring Aurora and Brianna, sharing their journey through polygamy, manipulation, and healing, with Christine, Janelle, and Mary as special guests. For updates. The story continues. The healing begins.